Welcome to the Senior Scoop, where experience meets community. Hi, I'm Deborah Samuel.
And I'm Kelsey Samuel. We're your hosts, bringing you real Santa Barbara stories, trusted advice, and expert tips for seniors and their families. The Senior Scoop is proudly brought to you by SBSOS, your local support network for seniors. You can visit us at sbsos.care or call us on 805-946-0060.
Now, let's dive into this week's Senior Scoop.
Yeah. And, I might just share that patient story today because it was kind of classic.
Yes.
She went to her OB-GYN and told her about she's having a little bit of incontinence, and her gynecologist immediately referred her over to the urologist. And the urologist said, she checked her pelvic floor, which was great. And she said, our problem seems pretty mild, and I think you would benefit from physical therapy. Why don't you call Natalie? So we had a chat, and she asked me about what we do, and I told her a little bit about the education that we do and the tools that we have. And so even if someone does go on to need surgery, learning about their muscles, learning strategies to decrease the, sometimes it's more about urgency and frequency, and there's so many things we can do that really don't have anything to do with surgery or even exercise, but behavioral strategies that we can do.
Behavioral strategies. So can you talk a little bit more about that? What does that involve?
Yeah, so one would be just the way we take in fluids. If I have someone who has urinary incontinence and I always ask them, what they drink and how much they drink. And I ask them, well, there's lots of things, but, and they're drinking 5 cups of coffee and they're having a lot of urgency. We talk about how caffeine can be a bladder irritant for some people. And so it can make you make more urine and make more urine faster, as does alcohol, as does just drinking a whole quart of water at one time. It's just like too much for your bladder. And so the response is, I got to go now. So it sets off our nervous system to get a little bit more. The bladder has a lot of innervation.
I want to talk a little bit about fluid intake, because I know even myself, sometimes I forget to drink water, and then it's the end of the day and I'm like, I know I'm probably dehydrated.
Yeah.
And I slam a lot of water, and then all at once I have to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
And so spreading your water fluid throughout the day helps.
Yeah. Ideally, if you could wake up in the morning and have a glass of water, and then you're kind of thinking 4 to 6 ounces every hour throughout the day, and then you stop a couple hours before bedtime so that your sleep is less likely to have sleep interruption by having to go to the bathroom. Yeah, and it just keeps your bladder happy. And the more of your drink that you drink is water, sorry about that, the more of your fluid intake that's water, the more benign it is on the cells of the bladder wall, so it makes your bladder a little less busy. So your bladder really likes water, the pH of water.
The pH. Well,
Yeah.
So, because I know, actually, it's interesting you should mention pH because I know there's a movement towards drinking 8.0 or 8.5, the alkalinity of water.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion on that?
Not at this point. I didn't actually know that was still a big thing. It was years ago. I was actually at a conference where people were selling alkalinizers,
Yes.
and I think plain water works pretty good.
good, clean, filtered
just good
water,
filtered water
throughout the day.
Yeah.
And
So when we're talking about pelvic health, what symptoms are we trying to overcome?
So usually we talk about urgency, frequency, and then we talk about what's called stress urinary incontinence. So urgency frequency will happen more like that. You drive into the driveway and you were just fine 5 minutes ago, but all of a sudden now you have to pee, and you have to pee right now. Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah. Yes. So
Thank you.
there's a little strategy you can do when that happens. When you pull into your driveway and you feel that urge coming on, and if you sit still in your car, maybe flip your legs out and you do a few little pelvic floor muscle contractions, just little squeezes like you're trying to stop the flow of urine. Take a few deep breaths and you just fully wait for that urge to pass, and then walk calmly into the bathroom is generally a much better strategy than rushing in and trying to hold your muscles tight the whole time. And then you just kind of start training your bladder and maybe spreading out your fluids and noticing, what triggers those things. But you can learn to undo those triggers a little bit. And then the person, like the woman I talked to today, she's like, I'm pretty good, but if I'm noticing that if I laugh hard or I cough or I sneeze, or if I get on a trampoline and I jump, then she's getting a little bit of leakage.
Yes.
Which is also very common. And that we think of as more of the muscles, maybe just basically the pressure from above is winning over the pressure you're able to create from below.
Okay.
And so then you have a little bit of a leak. So it's not all about the pelvic floor either. It's really about managing the pressure system from your diaphragm to your pelvic floor.
Well, let's talk about that then. Like what can we do to balance this pressure?
Yeah. Do you want to try practicing?
I would love to, actually.
we
because
love-
I don't really want to admit it, but I need to practice whatever
I
you're
need
about
to
to
practice.
show me.
I need to practice.
We all need to practice. We're doing our bicep curls.
Yes.
We need to be training our pelvic floor too.
that's just it. We exercise all these other parts of our body.
Yeah.
I'm not practicing my pelvic contractions and breathing, but I'm going to start.
Yeah, and incorporating into the exercise you're doing can be really beneficial.